What's up, all Deets here. Today I'm going to show you how to make some baguettes. These are amazing, little bit of work, but delicious, totally worth it. I'm excited, and let's get cooking. So we're starting the night before, and first things first, we need to activate our yeast. Half a teaspoon of sugar and a quarter teaspoon of active dry yeast are being added into a cup of water until the mixture becomes foamy. After that, we're adding a cup and a half of bread flour. What we're making here is called a poolish. This is going to ferment overnight and create an amazing flavor profile for our baguettes. So really just go at this with a wooden spoon until strands of gluten form. Scrape the sides of your bowl down, cover with saran wrap, and come back to it the next day. Plop the now airy mixture into a bowl with a cup of warm water. So we add the water before the flour so we can easily break apart the poolish and it gets evenly distributed throughout our dough. Now I'm incorporating 5 cups of flour, slowly adding it as I go along. Once the dough becomes too thick to stir in more flour, knead it on the counter for 10 minutes or so, adding flour or water as necessary. Roll this puppy into a tight ball, grease a bowl, and cover with saran wrap and allow it to rise until it doubles in size. While that's rising, we can go ahead and make some butter. This may be a little extra and kind of a flex, but it's also kind of cool. I'm really just mixing heavy cream in a food processor until it separates into butter and buttermilk. And after a few minutes, we have successfully made whipped cream, but we gotta keep on chugging along to get to butter. After a few more minutes, it's starting to get a little chunky, which means we are almost there. A little more whirling about and it is now separated into a liquid and a solid. Strain out the buttermilk and try to squeeze as much of that liquid out of the butter as possible. In a bowl of cold water so your butter doesn't melt, squeeze your butter to separate as much of that buttermilk as you can. Dump your water and continue this process until the water in the bowl stays clear. Last thing we are doing is forming this into a block, sprinkling the top with some sea salt and wrapping it in parchment paper. Alright, time to get back to the main event. With our dough finally light and airy, we are going to punch out all of that air and knead it for just a few minutes. We are then dividing it into 4 equal-ish pieces and forming them into nice taut balls. Rest them under a damp towel for 30 minutes so they can relax and they'll be easier to stretch out later. When this time is out, flatten each ball into a rectangle ovalish shape by hand or with a rolling pin. Next, roll up the dough starting on one side and pinch the seams and the ends to seal it. If you have a hard time with this, try adding a little water. Next, place your loaf into a well-floured napkin-lined basket, making sure that the seam side is up. Repeat the same process with the rest of your dough. Cover with a wet towel and these guys are gonna live here for the next hour and a half. Once that time is up, generously flour a peel and gently place your dough seam side down. Give it a nice score so that the bread can vent out steam as it bakes. In a well preheated 500-degree oven with a pizza stone and pan of water, place in your baguettes for 20 to 25 minutes or until they are nice and golden. The nice thing about baguettes compared to other bread is you don't necessarily need to wait for them to cool. They are actually much better warm just a few minutes out of the oven. Slice them on a bias, spread on some of that nice homemade butter, make sure you get some salt bits in there, and get after that bread. So here we got our baguettes and got them nice and buttered and it smells amazing in here and I'm gonna dig in and let you know how it is. Man, oh man, that baguette, nice and crispy on the outside, nice soft and fluffy on the inside. That butter just feels so fresh, so good. You can control your salt. This is amazing. It's a little labor intensive, but give this a try at home. But thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. If you made it this far, Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You can like, comment, support us how you want, but try this one at home and let me know how you did. And I'll see you next time.